अस्सलामु अलैकुम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुह। नहमदुहु व नुसल्ली अला रसूलिहिल करीम, अम्मा बाद। आज का सबक सुन लीजिए।
Let us listen to the Aaj ka Sabaq, which is delivered daily by Hazrat Maulana Muhammad Yunus, the son of Hazrat Maulana Muhammad Umar Palanpuri rahmatullahi alayh. Lesson number 786. Today's lesson number is lesson number 786, but at the same time in today's lesson we discuss regarding 786. To write 786 before a letter, before a message, before sending something out, this is against the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. We have to be cautious with regards to this year, and we have to understand that this year is completely against the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam and against the teachings of Islam. We should try and avoid it as much as we possibly can. We should also realize and understand that we will not get the thawab of sunnah when we are writing a letter or when we are sending a message. If we write 786 in the very initial or the very beginning, because that would not benefit us in any way. This year has not been made mention of in any of the ahadith kitabs. It has not been proven in any way, as well as the people of the past, the pious leaders and the scholars of the past, similarly as well, have not done any of this sort of writing 786 prior to a letter. We should write Assalamun alayk, or we should write Assalamu alaykum. This is what the people of the past and the pious would do, and this is what they would do when they would write a letter or send any message. This numeral figure of 786 is not found and is not proven in any way. We should try as best as we can to leave this year, and we should not formulate a habit of writing 786 prior to any of our letters or the communications that we do. Many people are involved in this year whereby they try and go and write this letter before, and then they feel that some of these letters might be going in places which is not appropriate and not respectful with regards to the communication or the letter for Allah's name to be it, hence we write 786. What we should alternatively do, those letters and those numbers that we receive that has Allah's name, we need to look after it, we need to make sure it's disposed of in the most appropriate of manner, and we need to make sure that those things are given the due respect with the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this regard. Sometimes we write formal greetings, salamun, masnoon, things like that. These things are not sabit, and never mind the general public, sometimes even the learned, they fall and they err with regards to this here. And you know, what is important for us to also understand and realize that when some things become common practice in our lives, and when some things become very, very prominent in society, then those things are understood to be part of deen. Whereas deen is something totally different, and these aspects with regards to Islamic etiquette, Islamic ways, Islamic actions, those things are two totally separate issues. We need to be made aware of the two things accordingly, inshallah. So today's sabak is lesson number 786, but similarly we also give the lesson about 786. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us all the understanding. Let us try and read Subhanallah 10 times, Allahu Akbar 10 times, and Allahumma ghafir li 10 times. On this Allahumma ghafir li, every time we read it 10 times. Out of the 10 times Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala responds, go, I have forgiven you, I have forgiven you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala responds to us. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the understanding. We make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He grants us goodness wherever we go. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us the key to goodness, that wherever we go, the doors of goodness open. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us from being the key to evil and vice. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.